Hey guys, welcome back. Till now, we have seen how we can create pivot tables, how we can have a different way of looking at that particular data, summarizing pivot table, designing those pivot tables. But the important thing that you need to look at is what happens if your data keeps on changing at the background. Yeah. Suppose there are some changes that has happened on your pivot data. So I have this data and suppose I change something in this data. I change uh, for Priya, I change this bonus or the sales amount from 185,000 to 200,000. Yeah. Is my pivot table reflecting it? Okay. So in order to make my pivot table reflective, I can refresh the data. So this 185 has to become 200,000. So I'll right click and refresh it to get the new changes updated, or I have to go to analyze and refresh it. So if I refresh it, just have a look at the data where I've made the changes to 200,000. I'll refresh it and the data is here. Okay. So this is how you can refresh the existing data which is available in your pivot table. Yeah, which is existing. Okay. Now, this is one way of doing it. Second is you can update pivot table. You can decide whether your pivot table is to be updated whenever you make changes to the layout, or it is to be updated by a separate trigger. So as you have learned earlier, the pivot table has an option for deferred layout, which you have spoken earlier. So if you go to the deferred layout, which is available in the bottom corner on the task pane, yeah. So as you have learned earlier in this field task pane on the bottom side, you will find this checkbox. So by default, it is unchecked, which means the pivot table does not get updated as soon as you make changes to the pivot table. So if I check this, yeah, so let me check this right now and say update. So let me go and change this 200,000 to 150,000. So again, where was the data? Yes, 150. Say enter. I go to my pivot table. Yeah. Oh, I say update. Yeah. So the update button next to it will be enabled. Now, if you make any changes to the pivot table area, the changes will be reflected only after you click the update. Yeah. Or I can change it by refreshing the pivot table. You can see. I remove this and I'll say refresh. Yeah, the data has been refreshed. Yeah, it's a very important option that you need to have. Now, again, in the refresh as well, there are various options. If you go to Analyze tab, which I have told you earlier, it has refresh all. So if there are multiple pivot table, whether you want to refresh them all. Yeah. If you want to see the refresh status, all that can be done from this particular option that is available on your Analyze tab on ribbon. Within the data group refresh section, if you click on this arrow, you get this various options that are available. Yeah. So refresh will do the latest data from the source connected to the active cell. What refresh all will do, it will get the latest data by refreshing all sources in the workbook, not only the particular source that is available to this particular table. Next is connection properties, yeah, which is deactivated now. This will only occur for any kind of connections that happens. Yeah, so if there are any connections to the table, it is helpful to update those. Can see if, yeah, you can see this. Since this was a data model that we have created earlier, if you have gone through my previous video, I've created this data model. If I want to refresh the connection, I go to connection properties and I can refresh the connection from it. So if I want to have the refresh every 60 seconds when opening the file, so there are various refresh options available here. Okay, this particular option, as I told you, is only for data models, where we have connections from different data sources. Next is changing the source data. So suppose I have this data, I have more data being added. So suppose I have this data being added again, and I have this Ravi Kulkarni into sales probably. Let me add that. Sales. I have this also in sales. I have this in sales. Uh, I do not have a target for them. Yeah. Now, if I try to refresh the data, I'll show you that. If I try to refresh the data, the particular option never appears. So if I go to the sales data, there are still only 4 people appearing, wherein I have added 3 more people in the data. You can see this. I have added Ravi, Kiran, and Anjali, which are not showing in this particular data. So if I try to refresh, still they are not showing it. Why? Because I have extended my data below. In order to cover this, if I go to the pivot table section, I need to go to analyze and say change data source. Yeah, I'll say change data source, which is available in the data section. Again, change data source. And here you'll find the data is selected only till row 31. I need to extend it. So I need to have the till the row 34. And I'll say okay. You'll now find the sales data is updated with the new people that I have added. So if I am adding data to a particular backend data, then you need to use change data source. Yeah. Wherein you can expand the source data selection to include the new data that is being added. And lastly, to delete a pivot table, as we have seen earlier, we need to go to clear and say clear all to delete a pivot table. Yeah, if you want to select entire pivot table, select entire pivot table, and then you can delete it. Yeah, clear all, I can say that. I can also delete it by right clicking it. I can go here, any of the fields or data within the pivot table. I can say right click and you have the delete option, or you can have the worksheet delete option. I go to the worksheet. Yeah, and I can right click and say delete to delete the pivot table that is available. Again, if you have data which has data models, there is a different way of refreshing it again. Yeah. So you need to go to that particular data. Okay. And you need to refresh connection properties. Again, it will ask for connection, or you go to right click or change data source. I'm very sorry. So I go to change data source. Yeah. Connection properties, and I can have my connection properties being changed. Okay. That's one way of having your data updated. I'll say change data source. and you have this change data source, or you can have this connections updated, which is related to that particular table. Yeah. So these are various ways in which you can update your data, refresh your data, or you can add data to your existing pivot tables. Okay. Hope you understood the entire pivot table section, because this was the last section that I have covered. We'll keep on adding advanced section, but this is the minimum requirement for any person to use pivot tables in Excel. You need to know all this to make yourself handy towards using pivot tables. Hope you like this video. Do like it, share it across with your colleagues who want to learn Excel. Comment if you want me to cover any of the topics which are very important for your day-to-day work. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, because that's how you are going to get all these informative videos directly to your inbox. Thank you so much.